If you can mute yourselves, go ahead and do that because I'm going to record it, and then background noise shows up a lot in the recording, especially. So mute yourself if you haven't yet. All right, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Katie Auerhahn, and I'm one of Megan's coaches. I'm a diamond coach, and I just got home from Summit with a bunch of people on this call and people who aren't on this call. It was awesome. It was amazing. And we are trying to figure out the best way to bring Summit to you guys who didn't go and people who are thinking about going for next year. So a little bit about me. I have 2 kids. Luke is 3 and Charlotte is Luke is almost 4 and Charlotte's almost 2. I'm married to my husband, Tim. He's amazing. I've been a coach for about 1.5 years now. It's been such a great experience, and this was my first summit, and it was well worth it. I had 5 girls from my team, which was amazing to me, and you know, just being there with the big team was awesome. So if you can get there, if this call doesn't convince you, well, I hope it does, to get there next year. So we want to go through the top 10 reasons to go to Summit, basically. And Stephanie Marsilio and Jen McNeil were going to join us as well, but they have both had Jen sick and Stephanie has something else. So Andrea Stevens and myself are going to take it away. So I'm going to do the first 5, and then Andrea's going to jump in for the last 5. If you're just hopped on, can you guys mute yourselves? There's a couple of you who are still not muted. There's some background noise coming through. So try to mute yourselves if you haven't yet. There should be like a little microphone on the bottom part of your screen. Okay, so number one reason to go to Summit. The trainings, the personal development, and hearing the success stories of challengers and coaches. This is like the meat of Summit, right? The trainings are amazing. Beachbody puts together, they bring like top coaches, people who have had success in the business, and they are set up in this amazing big room where you have lots of space, and they tell their stories, they share, they have stuff on the big screen, they have call to action steps, actual steps you can go home and do. It is absolutely the best trainings you will ever hear. Yes, you can catch them, they record them, you can listen to them at home, but nothing is like being there live, seeing their emotion. I mean, a couple of the speakers cried up on stage, and you just really felt it. And I came away with so much knowledge from that. The trainings are awesome. They're real people, they're real stories just like you and I. The personal development, I mean, they brought in keynote speakers, famous people. And again, I mean, we are business owners. It's a little bit, it feels differently than like buying a company or something, but that's what we are. And we own our own businesses, so we really need to be doing that personal development stuff. And that's where that comes into play. And being there and hearing it live is great. Taking notes and hearing from these people who really have so much to share, it's so motivating and inspiring. Success stories of challengers and coaches. I mean, this for me was huge. It's a reminder of my why. I mean, you get to Summit and you see all these coaches and you're reading their little name tags and what rank they are and talking to them, and you know, but this is really why. I mean, people who have lost over 100 pounds, it literally moved me to tears. I mean, I was sitting next to a couple of my own coaches, and I literally teared up watching these people who have, you know, come so far in their life, and you look at them and you would never know they've lost over 100 pounds. It is absolutely amazing, and it brings you back to why you started. Kind of, it's like a renewal. So that was amazing. And the coaches too, the top coaches, they recognize the people who are millionaires, and maybe we're not striving for that in the near future, but even like, you know, people who are like Megan Eggleston, who have hit elite, or Premier, these people who have had great success, people who have replaced their full-time jobs and then some, paid off debt. I mean, these are huge parts of our whys. So that's number one. Number 2 is team building and being an example to our downlines. For me, this is number 2 for a big reason. I don't think the 5 girls from my team would have gone if I hadn't. I can pretty safely say that they wouldn't have gone. And because they went, I mean, these girls now have diamond gold dates that are coming right up. We all kind of met, and we had this real team building experience. This culture that Megan, I mean, I put it on Megan because she created this culture of, we build each other up and we help each other. We share things. And not all teams have this. I am in contact with a girl from another team, and she doesn't necessarily have these same kinds of things that we have. These menus that come down to us a lot of them have come from Jen McNeil. I mean, that's a real culture that we have here, and I'm hoping I'm creating that in my small team. And I think having those girls come and getting to know each other, we slept in the same rooms and we met for dinner and lunch. It really created that like team building experience. I know as a stay-at-home mom myself, those friendships are a huge part of why I love this. So I think that's another real good reason to go to Summit. And as far as like expanding to the bigger part of the team, I mean, that's amazing too. I feel like some people who are kind of in the same spot as you, it's nice to get to know them and share ideas. Jen McNeil and I had a Zoom call last night, and we talked for 45 minutes and shared ideas and swapped thoughts. I mean, this is something, and we talked about at Summit, and now we're at home doing. So I think that team building thing is very, very important. Also, like building your leadership skills. Until you hit diamond, your goal is to kind of recruit. Once you hit diamond, you kind of step into this leadership role. And going to Summit and learning how to do that and leading your team there is all part of that. So I think that's very cool. Number 3, seeing, meeting, and working out with trainers. I mean, how cool is that? I know for me, my girl crush, my soulmate workout is Turbo Fire and Chalene Johnson. I love her. And being able to work out with her and hear her motivating us and doing Turbo Fire, which, was kind of the savior when I needed to lose so much weight after I had my son, was so moving. I mean, it was so cool. What an experience. What an experience. And the super workout, and I worked out with Shaun T. I mean, it was amazing. I think it's something that Beachbody offers us, and I mean, who wouldn't want to do it? I know we busted our butts to get to those workouts. We got off our plane and we were racing to make sure we could make it in time. It was awesome. Having those videos, taking pictures, it was very cool. It's also very motivating. Number 4, it kind of goes into my number 4. Shows social media and your following that what you're doing is the real deal. How many people have someone in their life who has no idea what you're doing, has no idea that you're making money doing what you're doing, and doesn't take you seriously? I mean, I'm sure all of us could name at least one person in our lives. I think it really shows the world that you are earning money, that this is real to you, and that this is something that's not going to it's not a phase. You're not going to do it for a couple months and then quit, hopefully. Having those pictures and posting them on Facebook, showing what fun you have there. I mean, that's an important part of it. Our lives are kind of an open book on Facebook, and that's how you inspire people to join you. And if you think nobody's watching what you're doing, you're wrong. People sit in the background and watch and watch and watch. I've had people who have never ever liked my posts, never ever commented, have never shown up on my feed, message me to buy a challenge pack or to find out more about coaching. So people are watching. So it is cool to have those pictures. I definitely think that is part of it. Most of you are probably following some top coaches. I know I followed one for a long time, years ago, before I even bought Turbo Fire. And I watched her going to the Summit. It was in Vegas then. And I was like, what is she doing? That looks like fun. And it was before I even knew what coaching was. So those pictures, that kind of stuff, I mean, that's important. I think for me, too, it showed some people that, I am making enough money to be able to go to Nashville and stay in a hotel and bring my mom and my daughter with me and pay for that, and that it was worth doing. So Number 5, product launches and news. This was also very cool. They had so many like things they were launching and so much news. I mean, it was shocking. I didn't even have any idea they were going to announce so much. You're going to be the first to hear about it. You'll be the first to be able to pass it on to your teams. I mean, I sat in the stadium and took pictures and posted it right to my team so they knew what was going on. You can also pass it on to your following. You know, the boosts that came out, the Shakeology boosts, I never would have understood it. I would have been one of those people who was like, you know, I thought Shakeology was like the perfect blend. But I heard them explain it, and they talked about how it's a balance between tasting good and the nutrients, and that's where this comes in. And then it made sense to me. So I think being there and hearing the CEO talk about it, the celebrity trainers talk about, you know, the hammer and chisel and what it is and what it's going to be. I mean, that's really important. If you're serious about this business and you have a team that you're serious about building, being able to bring it to them is very important. So that's the product launches and news. So that's my 5. Andrea is putting her kids to bed, but she's joining us. I might have moved a little too quickly for her. There she is. Andrea, if you want me to keep going, I can.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, sure?
Yep.
All right, I'll let you jump in.
Yeah, so we have a little visitor with us tonight on the call, if you don't mind. But hey, everybody, I see a lot of faces on here that I maybe don't recognize, so I'll just quickly introduce myself, and then we'll go into the second 5 bullet points. My name is Andrea Stevens. I am a 2-star diamond coach. I've been coaching for a little bit more than a year and a half, and so this was actually my second summit. So I have a little bit of a different take on it than maybe some of when Jen and Stephanie were going to be on earlier, and Katie. I have a little bit of a different take on it, I think, because this was my second. I did go to Vegas last year with this little one, actually. He was too little to leave home, so I flew my mom out with me, and we went out to Vegas. And so I will say that this year, having more of the team there, last year it was just Megan and I and her sister, we had an awesome time with the team, and it was just so nice to see how the team has grown this year. And I definitely took a lot more in, but it's my first bullet point that I wanted to talk about, and it's actually probably my favorite one, and that is a reason to go to Summit is to set goals, for this current year and next year. And so the reason it's one of probably my favorite point to talk about is I think it's one of the most important. Last year when I was sitting in Summit, okay, we'll sit it down. Last year when I was at Summit, I was a diamond coach. I had hit diamond a few months prior, and but really didn't have anybody on my team yet at that point that was really wanting to push and wanting to hit goals. And it was there that I was sitting in one of the general sessions with Megan. I made a video about this a while back. You may have seen it. But I looked up at her, and she was a 2-star diamond at the time. And I looked up at her and I said, "What's your goal for next year?" As we were watching these coaches walk across the stage. And she looked at me and said, "For Summit?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "I'd like to be a solid 7 or 8 star. And she said, "What's yours?" And I said, 2-star. And it was there that we hit that. And so for us to be able, I don't know if you know, but Megan was recognized as an 8-star diamond coach down there. But she actually hit 9 on the day that we were down there. And so she achieved her goal, and I achieved mine. And so it was really cool for us to be able to see that. And what we did is we set those goals at Summit right then. We hadn't talked about that prior. But the reason that we did that was because we were seeing all of this amazing work that people were doing, and we were getting excited, and we were all in. And it wasn't until then that I think it really clicked for me. And I'm sure that everybody that went would say, "Wow, you definitely don't come away from Summit without just..." Anybody wants some milk? Without setting goals and being excited to set new goals. So I also now have a vision for next year. I have my summit goal set for next year. And it's not necessarily because of something that I want to achieve. I like the recognition and such, but my goal is more because I have a certain number of coaches that I know that really would like to achieve this. And they either were at Summit and were like, this is awesome, or they were at home saying, wow, next year when I go, this is what I want. And so I have a rank goal, yes, or I have a goal for my team that I set at Summit for next year's Summit. And that gives me something to shoot for, but it's simply because of what my coaches want to achieve. That's what I want for our team. So anyway, I now know which coaches really want it, which ones want to push for it. They have a goal date in mind, and that excitement around Summit and just seeing it and seeing that vision and being down there and learning from the best in the network gave me those good goals to set. Even more concrete goals, not just, oh, I want to be an 8-star diamond or a 9-star diamond or whatever. More concrete goals, like these are going to be my work hours and this is going to be my goal for this day. And I was able to set those goals. So that's probably my biggest takeaway and my biggest thing that I want you to think about as we prepare, coming back off of Summit, and as we prepare forward. You have to have a goal in mind. Success doesn't happen, it's created. So it doesn't just happen. You have to go for it. You have to make it happen. You have to put those steps in place, those small goals to help you get to your further goal. And so I always had that in mind, that I wanted to be a 2-star diamond coach at Summit this year. And, I was able to make that happen. Okay, so second point is to meet coaches from other teams and develop partnerships. I have an elevator buddy at Summit. Her name is Amy. I don't know where she lives, but I met her last year in Vegas, and we connected in the elevator. Every time I was in the elevator, I'm not even kidding you, this girl, out of a sea of like 10,000 plus coaches at Summit last year in Vegas, this girl was in my elevator at the MGM. And so we connected, and we still will talk on Facebook. And I kid you not, I saw her at the Core, and I saw her in the elevator down there at Nashville this year. I mean, out of 25,000 people in all of those different hotels, it was even more crazy that I would have run into her this year, and I did. And so we've connected some throughout the year. She told me she'd been following my journey. She congratulated me. She's on a different team. So we haven't really shared resources, but that's a great person I've been able to connect with. This year I met a couple new coaches that I are a similar rank and a similar place in their business as I am, and I was able to kind of get their contact info. We friended each other on Facebook. And not only that, but even Megan has some awesome success partners and coaches that have gone a little bit ahead of us, and we were able to, I'm sure Katie will say that we were able to talk with them and just learn from them, and that's huge. This business is all about people, and the more that we can learn from other people, the better we can serve our customers and our coaches. So that is definitely a good thing about Summit, is that there's just so many positive people around you. You're just literally surrounded by like-minded people, and it's fun. And so you're there with people that have the same goal that you do everywhere you turn. And so it's really nice to just be able to form some new connections and network with people. And also on our team. I literally walked up to Katie, who I talk to probably every single day, and said, it's nice to meet you. We've been working together for 1.5 years, and I've never met her. And I've never met Jen McNeil. And I've never met Stephanie. And I've never met, like 3/4 of the coaches that were down there. Janelle, I think Janelle's on this call. I met my own coach that is getting very, very close to reaching diamond rank, Teresa. I met her personally, and I've been working with her in clean eating challenges and stuff for over a year. So that was extraordinary for me to be able to say that. It was so funny. Literally, quick story, because I don't want to get off topic, but literally Jen and Stephanie were walking, Jen McNeil and Stephanie Marsilia, who are also, Jen McNeil's a 1-star diamond, and Stephanie's a diamond coach, if you don't know. But anyway, they walked past me in the line for the Shalene's workout for PiYo. And they had just arrived in Nashville. I had come down Wednesday. This was Thursday. And they walked past me, and I was like, Jen, Stephanie. And they turned, they were like, hey. And then they kept walking. And then all 3 of us froze and went, oh, and we like ran and hugged, and I lost my place in line almost, but no, I got it back. But it was like, we realized at that moment that even though we've worked together so closely as leaders of this team for the last year and a half, we have never met. And so we gave each other big hugs, and it was just a funny moment because we seem like we know each other very, very well, but, and we do, but we actually were able to meet in person. So that is another reason to go. My thing, the core, okay? The core is where the shopping happens and where the money is spent. Too much of it. No, but so there's this awesome thing called the core that that Beachbody sets up. Last year, it was a train wreck. In Vegas, it was a train wreck. Everything was sold out, like all the good sizes, the like smalls and mediums were gone by like the second day. And so this year they were rock stars. I actually heard somebody say that they had enough merchandise to restock that thing 3 times a day, full from start to finish. I can't imagine how many tractor and trailer loads that was of merchandise. It was crazy. But you can get some of the things that are there online, but not much of the apparel. Most of the stuff is only at Summit, at the core. And so you can get the best merchandise. You can get the newest program. There's always a program that launches, AKA Size. We all got our copy of Size down there. You don't have to pay shipping on any of it. Shaker cups. We got challenge pack prizes. I spent, probably more than my husband would have liked. But I also am an Insanity and P90X Live instructor. So there's also a separate, which is awesome this year. I got perks. There's a separate instructor section for those that are certified. So I got to check out in the short line, and I got to go in there. Had a little special bracelet that was only for instructors. So there's that section if you're interested in the live formats. I wouldn't go there and do all that if you're not into fitness. I was already a fitness instructor prior to this. A lot of people ask me about that all the time. I just want to clear that up. But there's that. There's the new performance line was out. That's where the Boost came out. Everything that they launched at Summit was in the core. Now, the line was very long. That's another reason why you want to be an elite coach, because you can flash your wristband and walk right in. But the stuff is amazing. You can't find it other places. And so it's a good place to get the hottest merchandise and all of that. It's not something that you have to go do, but it is definitely a nice perk. And the lines are pretty long, and I'm sure they'll come up with a better system for next year for that. But it was worth it once we got in there, and this stuff was not picked over. So there was an awesome thing. And Wear and Share works, you guys. If you haven't done that, I literally gave the guy at Jimmy John's a Shakeology sample on the way home, okay? Because I had my Shakeology shirt on, and he was like, "What's Shakeology?" And I said, "Well, it's funny that you ask." And I was kind of wish he would have asked, Mandy or some of my other coaches that were in there with me, but he asked me. So I told him about it, and he's really into fitness and really into like protein shakes and all that junk. And so I started talking to him about him, gave him a sample because I had my shirt on. So that is brand recognition, brand awareness right there. I signed a coach. Well, my husband did actually, but I had my Shakeology jacket on the way home from Cancun in the airport, and my husband signed a coach because of that, because he stopped us. So, it works. Okay, I'm going to run out of time. Incentives and parties. So this is speaking my language. I am motivated by getting to go do the fun things, like the exclusive things. That is kind of my, what drives me. So last year, Megan told me if I hit diamond, she would take me to it was 1 star and above at that time, the exclusive party, the 1-star diamond party and above. So I was like, okay, I want to go. And so I did. And so if you're one of those people that is motivated by incentives, this is a really great way to build your team and encourage your team to hit their goals. But it's also just a great way for you to hit a goal. So this year, I knew that the Star Diamond party was 2-star and above. And I hit 2-star diamond, I believe, in early April. And so I wanted to make sure I held on to that rank. And that's not really an easy thing to do, by the way, if you guys aren't into the Star Diamond ranks and are thinking about those things yet. But I wanted to make sure that I was able to hold that so that I could go and take a guest. And so I used those to push. The Success Club party was the Star Stripes and Success one. I'm sorry, my kid's running around being loud. That was that was a push for those of us that wanted to go. We had to hit 10 minimum and 25 across 2 months. That's a lot of Success Club points. So it's a way to drive our businesses. It gives you something to push for. And not only that, but your coaches as well. And they're fun. The Stars and Stripes party that was down there, to earn that, you had to hit Success Club 10 minimum both months, but have a total of 25 points across both months. So an average of 12 to 13. And then you got to take a guest. And so there was an awesome band, a great country band that sang, that is actually like well known. They write songs for like the biggest names in the business. And there was nice food and drinks. And Darren O'Lean from who the creator of Shakeology was there, and I got to meet him. And you know, those smaller events, you're able to meet people and network a little bit better. And then afterwards, there was to walk from that party to the 2-star and above party. I took my coach Teresa Levine. I did a little incentive and my coaches that were going. I offered them, whoever sponsored the most personally sponsored coaches, whoever sponsored the most could be my date in this amount of time, could be my date to the party. And she speaks my language, and that really motivated her to go. And so she earned my guest ticket to that event. And then Jen McNeil went with Megan. And so the 4 of us got to walk in a parade and Jen posted the picture earlier of the president and the vice presidents. We were literally walking with them in the parade. And I was like, can you all 4 turn around at the same time? Because I was standing right beside them and I wanted to get a picture. And that's when Jen McNeil photobombed in. But, you know, we were right there. We got to talk to him. And that's fun for me. That might not motivate you, but it will motivate somebody else. So those incentives and those parties, they're smaller, and it's a great way to meet people. Shalene came, Tony Horton came, Autumn came. They all were there at that smaller party, and it was beautiful. It was right along the river. It was called Light Up the Night, and they had trees, and they had beautiful candles, and it was really, really, really nice. And those, you know, Teresa was really excited that, you know, we were up that close and personal with Autumn, and we got to walk around and see some of the, you know, the biggest names in the network, and they're really, really nice, and most of them are really, really nice and humble, and I'm happy to, you know, pose for a picture or, you know, just stop and talk to you about your goals. And those smaller parties are really good networking places. So, you know, trainers, photo ops, and who doesn't want an excuse to dress up? I don't know about you, but I'm a mom of 3 very young kids, and I mean, this is the best that it gets for me pretty much every day. Workout clothes and a ponytail. So for me to have a chance to have something to dress up for and wear heels and you know, think about what I want to wear, that I enjoy that. So that's another perk. And then my last one is to gain momentum. And so the purpose of going, this is probably honestly the biggest thing about Summit, is the momentum that you gain. Those of us that went to Summit, I mean, you saw the pictures, our Facebook was blown up. All of us, between the coaching groups and what we did, people were tagging each other. That all shares what we're doing, that we're a team, part of a common goal. And I don't know about you, but I know if I'd have been home watching that, I really would have wanted to be there. And I literally signed 3 coaches at Summit, people that I had been talking to for a while, that kind of saw what was going on and realized, wow, that looks really, really fun. And so the momentum that you can gain while you're down there, not only are you working out with the trainers, that people are like, wow, that's awesome, but you're in training sessions, you're learning about the newest products. All of that hype around your social media allows you to gain momentum. So you may see that even if you are like sharing a post from it, even if you weren't there, you can use that to gain momentum in your business, to talk about how your upline just went and shared this new information with you. Or those of us that were there, you know, we're finding, you know, there's a lot more traction on our pages because there's been so much hype and momentum around the trip. So, not only can it light a fire and kind of help you gain momentum in your own business, it really did that for me. I was able to look back on where I was last year and where I am this year and see, wow, like how much momentum I gained from Summit last year to Summit this year, and how much I anticipate and plan to gain for next year. It's not only me, but it also helps to light a fire in your coaches. And so I know I have a good many that I've already registered for next year, but I was fortunate enough to take 4 of my personally sponsored coaches, Jen Sousa, Rebecca Kennedy, Mandy Hetrick, and Teresa Levine. And we actually all slept 5 to a room. Jen and Mandy let me sleep in their bed. We slept 3 to a bed, and we averaged about 4 hours of sleep a night. We never moved once we fell asleep, so it didn't matter. But they all just coming home, just seeing their fire, and 2 of them have sponsored coaches in the last 24 hours, I think, if not, yeah. And so just seeing their momentum, it makes me so much more excited, and it makes me more amped up. It makes me want to work harder. It makes me want to help them hit those goals. And that is the purpose of Summit right there, is to get people to go and see it in front of them and see, wow, this is real. These are just real people that have done these extraordinary things. It's not about money. It's not about rank. It's not about parties and glitz and glamour. And it's about seeing lives changed. It's about seeing those Beachbody challenge winners that have lost 100, 200 pounds, and just seeing their stories on the screen. It's about seeing people that were, $400,000 in debt, in medical debt, like Lindsay Matway, become someone that's such an inspiration to others, who came from nothing and she was a high school dropout. That's what it's about. It's about going and actually seeing what the company is all about. My husband did not go with me this year to Summit, but he did come with me to Cancun for the Success Club trip. He's literally sitting right there. Taking him to the event down there where he got to see a little bit more about what Beachbody is and entails was so crucial for our marriage and for my business, because it really, not that he's always been very supportive. He's so supportive of me and I'm so blessed. But getting to see it, it was kind of like he really got all in, if that makes sense. He really got to network with some other husbands and talk to them. And he was literally like in the hotel memorizing the compensation plan and like policies and procedures, which is like totally boring for me. I don't do that. That's his job. And so going to those live events is where you learn about the culture of the company, and where if you aren't all in, you get all in. And so that's I think the main reason that you want to go. This hair is driving me crazy. You want to go and gain momentum and get inspired and get that fire lit under you, because this business is not easy. It's not easy for anybody. Don't let any of us make you think that it is. It can be really challenging. It's worth it, but it's not easy. And so when you go down there and you see, hey, this coach said it took her a year to start getting her feet underneath of her and start working, or it took this coach, this coach came from this horrible situation and has been able to turn it around. That helps to really push you with that momentum. So I know I'm kind of here getting close to the end, but if there is one thing that I can tell you to do is get on the wait list. I think it's sold out today, but I posted, I'm in a Southeast region leaders group, and Jeremy Red, one of the vice presidents, posted that they have sold, I believe, 20,000 of the 25 that they have. They want to save 5,000 because they anticipate that many success starters will earn it. There is still space. They will let people in. People will cancel. It happened last year. It sold out quicker than it did this year. And I mean, several of my coaches were on the wait list and they got off. So it will be fine. But I encourage you, everybody's going to continue to keep getting on the wait list. So I encourage you to sign up. You don't have to pay for it. All you have to do is sign up and get your name on it. And then that way you have the option to go should you want to, because this company is just continuing to grow by leaps and bounds. And you don't want to be sitting next year, maybe having achieved, even if you're a new coach, there's nothing that's stopping you from achieving these amazing goals. And you, I know it can be scary to make that take that step and think that far ahead. But if you want to do this, that's what you've got to do. You've got to believe that it's going to happen. You know what that is. But I don't know. That's my say. We have 3 minutes. I don't know if Katie wants to say anything else. If anybody has a question, you can unmute yourself and ask us. Oh, come on. Somebody's got to have a question. I do this every single time I'm on a call with my team, too. I'm like, come on. It's fine. It doesn't even have to be about Summit, really.
Hey, can you hear me?
I sure can. Who's this?
Stacy.
Hey, Stacy.
Hey.
Oh, no, I see you talking. Okay.
Yeah, I don't really have a question. I just wanted to say that I just wanted to thank you. And it was so fun. Everything that you guys said was right on point. And my husband actually came with, you were saying, Andrea, he before he was like, oh, you're always on Facebook, what are you on Facebook again? Just gave me a hard time. But he went and I think he really understands now like what it's all about and what I have to do. And he's got so pumped up and so motivated. And he's like asking me now, are you doing your power hour? Are you doing all the things you're supposed to be doing? Like making sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So that was really cool to have him finally understand what everything's all about. So I concur. I encourage everyone who didn't go to definitely go because it's so awesome. And I got to meet Lindsay Matway too, and that was super cool.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Super cool. She's so sweet. I met her last year, and I got to get a pic with her this year again too. She's super sweet.
Yeah, definitely.
Janelle, Mandy, anybody want to quickly? We have a minute. Anybody want to say, their favorite thing or that you concur? They went. I don't see anybody else on here that was there, but I don't know if I have everybody's picture.
Yes, I do.
Okay, go girl. Less than a minute. Come on.
Got to touch Shanti's hand. I got to touch Sagi's hand. So it's definitely well worth it.
Okay. She hasn't washed them since. So, you're right up
I haven't
front
washed my hands.
trainers. So, Mandy really came alive at Summit. I mean, she's an amazing coach. And even her husband has really kind of become a lot more supportive too, just since she went. So.
Oh, yeah. He definitely changed.
So, you want to get on the wait list. We're going to run out of time.
All right. Should we say good night before we get cut off?
Good night.
Thank you, everyone, for being on the call.
If you need anything, ask us and tag us in the page. We'll be there.